Pisces, welcome to Black Star Tarot. This is your love reading for the month of May. So let's see what's going on with you guys. Like, see whether you're working on love or business, both. Let's see what's going on. Let's see who has time for love right now in the state of the world that it's in. Anyway, all right, Spirit, messages for Pisces. So I feel the Page of Swords just flipped out, so we're going to take it. All right, so you got some communication here. All right, the pages are all about messages. Okay, Page of Swords can also be good news. That's another thing. What else? Somebody could be spying, Pisces. Like the Page of Swords can represent, you know, someone being real inquisitive, looking for something, spying for something, like a private investigator even. You know, somebody trying to be slick, somebody wanting to communicate. This card can also represent like delayed news, right? Definitely heavy energy with spying though. Here for some of you. So if you got a little creeper on your hands, Pisces, beware. Somebody could be spying on you. Anyway, it could be an Aquarius. They had the spying card in a reading. Okay. Anyway, so I just did Aquarius before you, and they had like 2 cards of spying. All right, so you got some conflict here. So what's up with that, right? So I don't know. Like I said, there could be, you know, no communication between you and somebody here, right? There could be no communication. Somebody could be really bothered by the fact that they can't, you know, communicate with someone here. Because this 5 of Wands is saying that somebody's having a difficult time, okay? There could have been an argument. There could be, you know, it's just a struggle somehow, right? These two, it's just like a struggle. The struggle to talk, to communicate, like somebody can't access, you know, someone easily here, right? They can't communicate. This page can't get through, right? He can't get his messages through because there's a struggle. This could represent an argument, clashes, or just even tension, you know, maybe a conversation that just, you know, conversations that they have tension or had tension. What else for Pisces? So we have the moon, so radio silence, you know, between you and your person. Okay, you showing up in your own reading, so, you know, you could be having some thoughts, you know, or some fears about something right now. Okay, maybe you're confused about something. I don't know. This card got so much, right? Somebody could be hiding their feelings. I kind of really feel that. You know, somebody could be sneaking around a little bit. Okay, so, you know, Spirit always says like follow your intuition, right? If you know, if somebody's sneaking around, like that's crazy. Maybe somebody had an argument, you know, about somebody, you know, sneaking around or holding secrets or something like that. That's a possibility here, okay? All right. Well, we have the 7 of Cups. So look at all these choices that you have. So many. Which ones are real? Which ones are fake? Which ones are realistic? Which ones are just going to waste your time, right? That's probably what, you know, a lot of you are thinking. Those are your fears, right? Somebody's thinking that, right? They're looking at these cups like, which one of these is going to suit me best? Which one is going to work? Who's going to be the best option? You know, which one of these is going to fail? You know, that's somebody's thoughts, you know, out there right now. And I mean, I get it. Like, I get it. It's like, you know, it's indecision, right? That's what the card represents, indecision. You know, you may not know. You know, you want to hope. These cards represents hopes, like I hope this works. You know, there's definitely a very dreamy feeling about this card, right? You know, it's just that, you know, you don't know which one of these opportunities are probably going to suit you best, okay, for decisions. I don't know. See? So we have the Knight of Cups. So somebody's thinking about making some type of move here. This knight is coming in with this cup. He's ready to offer, you know, what he got. You know, he ain't He ain't a page, he ain't a king, but you know, he's here bringing you who he is. Like, this is, you know, him in his true authenticity, right? You know, this is me. I'm working on me. I'm working my way up, but he's bringing, you know, he's someone's taking action towards you, Pisces, in some way, or somebody wants to take action. Okay. And this is moving into the future. Somebody's going to make a move. You know, they're going to offer something here. And there it is again. Like I said, somebody's going to offer something here. See it, right? And it's interesting because this one's coming in with his cup. And this hand is coming in from this cup. You know, it's almost like the universe is like, okay, I'm handing you, you know, a second chance. I'm giving you, you know, like, I'm going to resurrect something here for you. And I feel like there's an acceptance, right? These two cups are going to come together. And I think something beautiful is going to happen for some of you out there, okay? I know this sounds like a Disney movie, but, you know, I just see these remind me of the Two of Cups. Just the way that it's presenting itself on the table, okay? And look at your wishes. I kind of feel that for some of you, like, you know, it's like you wish with the Seven of Cups. That looks like a card of wishing and fantasy and dreams. Like, oh God, if I could have it my way, right? I will offer this cup and they will offer it back, you know, and then I would be in this Nine of Cups, right? Because look, all these goddamn cups on here. It's a lot of cups, you know, in this reading. So somebody wants this relationship. They want this intimacy. They want this love, like, badly, okay? Badly. That's what they dream of, right? You know, they fight, you know, off the feelings, you know, of not having this love around, okay? And then we have this Knight of Wands. So if you want it, you got to go get it, okay? You know, this Knight of Wands is heading straight into those cups. Like, he's like, look, I don't have time for this, right? I'm not going to sit and play the games of the... I'm not gonna be in this moon energy. I'm not speaking. I'm not talking. You know, I'm not doing that. You know. Hopefully, you're an adult or whatever. Some of you are gonna just come in and, or somebody is gonna come in and make that first move. Okay, to get this wish, right? To get these 9 wishes. Okay. What else? All right, we just flipped over. You got admired. Like, somebody means something to someone here. It's almost like there's nothing like them. There's no one like them. Like, someone admires the other person, like, in a special kind of a way, right? You know, we have inner child. So that tells me that, you know, they're the same. Like, they make you happy. Like, the inner child is when, you know, we're happy and our imagination is on steroids and we're just in that childlike state where we just feel free and nothing can stop us. You know, that is that feeling of inner child. You know, it's that connection, you know, to self. So I feel like the reason why there's so much admiration towards this person is because, or towards you, Pisces, is because, you know, you guys share like that same soul, like that inner child. You know, you may like the same goofy things, you know, the same goofy movies. You may both have a sense of humor, you know, things like that. Okay. So you have settling, and then you have mute. Let's just pull one more just to make the row even. And you have patience. So, I mean, okay, you know what I'm saying? So right now, I feel like everything is just at a standstill, right? We have this Knight of Wands still here in the background. Like, he's contemplating, you know, on coming in and getting what he knows that, you know, he's looking for, that he wants. He's on it, you know. It's in he's thinking about it. It's in there, you know. But for now, I feel like, you know, either you're settling for what it is that you have now, okay, or they're settling for what they have now. So they may not be talking to you, Pisces, right? They're being very laid back and patient about, you know, this whole, you know, situation, right? It's interesting. It's very interesting. But Nevertheless, that's what we got. Okay, they're just waiting. There's no speaking. And I saw the not speaking when the moon showed up, that there is no conversation between you and somebody here. Okay, so somebody could be moving. That's a real possibility. Okay, somebody could be withholding. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe somebody wants to move on, but they're just waiting and hoping that, you know, something will change. We have fresh start on the bottom of the deck, so that may very well be the case. Like before they make a move, Pisces, they probably want to, you know, try one more time before they, you know, just kind of just go their way, right? So we have spending time together. So that's initially what the idea is, right? Happiness, hopes and wishes. I'm sorry, right? That's that Nine of Cups, like your hopes and wishes. You know, this is like the sun. You know, it's crazy. So you got some, you know, this is kind of like your situation this month. There's progress here with this Knight, but I really don't feel like, I think I would feel more confident if the Chariot, you know, was here, as far as like any change in communication between, you know, the two of you. Right now, you know, somebody's just kind of, I don't know what the spy is for. Well, who's the spy? What do you, because somebody's spying, but yet they're not making no moves. What's the point? It's like wasted energy. Like, what are you looking for? It's stupid. Anyway, but it's here, right? Somebody's spying, so it's here. Let me get you a couple cards and we're gonna go. Aquarius, messages for Aquarius. I said Aquarius. This is Pisces, right? Yeah, I just did it first. So we have history, time, and investments. I know. I knew that. Let me get my glasses, y'all. So I knew that from the beginning of the reading, that there was history, time, and investment here, because it's taking you forever to make a god darn decision, right? This person, like I said, has fears, right? The moon, like there's fears, you know. It's because of the time and the history and the investment that has been put into this particular dynamic. Okay, it's been a minute, and you're just not sure if you should move on or if you should invest, you know, in this any longer. You know, do you really want to spend some time together? Do you really want to invest in this, or should you just move on? I think that is part of this Seven of Cups, you know, in which someone's trying to figure this out. You know, something here hasn't been easy. Okay, we'll make this our last card. So we got blocked, cutting off, and excess. And then you have I know you on the bottom of the deck. So here's what I have to say. So basically, the obvious, right? Some of you may feel blocked, cut off, right? Some of you may have had to set boundaries with this because maybe it's consuming, you know, a part of you. Like, you know, it's chipping energy off of you or something. But it says boundaries. So some of you may have, like I said, I see the lack of communication where there will probably have been a separation here, but it's not here. So that means that you probably weren't with this person. At least it haven't been for a while, because it didn't show up here. That card loves to come out in these cards, separation. Anyway, so yeah, you could be blocked off. Somebody could have restricted access from you for quite some time now. Okay, maybe it's been a while. You know, maybe you haven't talked to someone here. They haven't spoke to you. Maybe you've cut off access, Pisces. Who knows? But that's what I see here. Somebody did something. And then you have this card that says, I know you. So, you know, whatever that means, you know, I think you guys know each other. I think more than you probably would admit, right? But, you know, for now, this be the game that is played, right? And then we have truly in love with you. So, you know, that says a lot. So that's your message, Pisces. I hope you liked it. I'll see you in your next reading.